Hello and welcome to How to Film Weddings. My name is Nick Miller and today we are continuing our Getting Started series to help filmmakers that want to start filming weddings but they have no clue where to begin. And today we are talking all about audio equipment. Over in our Facebook group, and you can join that at howtofilmweddings.com/community, we are seeing tons of questions about people that are brand new to this industry, and we here at the How to Film Weddings YouTube channel just want to help people get going. So today we are going to talk about the audio equipment that you need, the audio equipment that would be nice to have, some things that will really elevate your films through audio. As of the recording of this video, I have been in the wedding filmmaking industry for 9 years, and I have seen lots and lots of stuff go on. And I know when I first started, I knew the importance of audio, but I didn't really know the importance of audio. And I think back to a quote that Rob Adams said in a Creative Live. And if you don't know who Rob Adams is, he is one of the quote unquote godfathers of the modern way of wedding filmmaking. And in this Creative Live, someone said, what should I invest in? A good camera body or good glass, good lenses? And he said audio. Invest in audio. Because we as a people can forgive bad picture quality if it sounds good and it sounds nice, but we cannot forgive a film if it has the best pictures but the audio sounds bad. So I want to run through different devices, different things that you should have or be thinking of getting eventually, maybe whenever you have enough money. The first thing that I want to touch on is on-camera audio. Okay, this is often referred to as scratch audio from a lot of people, and it doesn't sound the best because your cameras are not designed really to capture nice, clean, high quality audio. I remember one of the first things that I purchased was something like this. This is the Rode Video Mic Pro. It is a little shotgun mic that goes on top of your camera. Now, I used this exclusively for the first few weddings that I shot, and I thought that this was going to be good enough, but it's sadly not. I don't even use a microphone like this anymore. I'm just using my camera for like scratch audio, and if someone has something to say, I'm gonna put a lavalier mic on them, or I'm gonna have them speak into a microphone or something like that. So this is maybe something that you could get early on if you wanted to, or if you would just like to have nicer kind of scratch audio. But for me personally, I would say don't use your money for something like this to begin with. I think that you should rather get a lav microphone, something that you can actually put on a person if they are speaking, rather than going with this. So that is my opinion, but if this is something that you want to grab, go for it. It can help you, it can save you, but again, I would rather, if I only had one choice between something like this or a lav mic, I would go with a lav mic. So the next thing that I want to talk about is something like this, which is the Tascam DR10L. This is a lav microphone and little recorder. It comes with a really nice lav mic, and it's recorded straight into this little recorder that is on here. This is probably industry standard as of today, filming this video, of a recorder that you can have. It's battery life, it lasts me all day. Like I've had it on a groom for like 7 hours and the battery didn't die. It records a phantom track, so that means it has, at the level that I recorded at, and then it does one even lower at like 8 dBs lower, which if they start speaking really loud, it's just not as loud, so it might not peak. This is a great little thing that you have. This costs about $200 to get one of these. I know that when you're first starting out in filmmaking, you're like, oh, $200, that's a lot. This is probably one of the first things that I would invest in, something like this. Now, there are tons of different lav mics out there, lav recorders out there that you can pick up, and they all range from, probably, $150 to $250, depending on the brand and the version that you get. But having something like this I would put this in the absolutely 100% need column. You need a little lav mic like this, a little lav recorder on the wedding day. Now this is the brother to the Tascam DR10L. This is the Tascam DR10X, and it's the exact same design, the exact same thing, except instead of a lav mic going into the top, you can actually plug an XLR cable straight into this little recorder. This is probably in the field recorder world, that is recorders that you plug into another board, this is probably one of the best places to start. It has, the same phantom track where it records, a lower volume under it. It's inexpensive as far as field recorders go. This one's probably around $150, $200, somewhere in there. But this little thing, you can plug it in, you can set it, and just check on it every now and then. But this would probably be my first purchase. So if you're asking me, hey, what are the 2 extra audio pieces of gear, the first 2 audio things that you would need to get, I would definitely say the Tascam DR10L and a Tascam DR10X or something like this. This is exactly where I would start. For $350, $400, you can really get going on a wedding day. These 2 things is where I would start. Next thing I want to talk about is a more proper field recorder than the DR10X, and that is something like this. This is the Zoom H4n. Tascam makes one, it's called the DR40, I believe is what that one is called. Anyway, these little recorders run anywhere from $150 to about $300. What is really nice about these is they have a lot of extra inputs. So while the DR10X only has XLR, this one here on the bottom actually has XLR or 1/4 inch. So you can plug in either an XLR cable or a 1/4 inch into the bottom of this. You can also record audio from the top here. So you can use this as just like a ambient recorder that will pick up all the other stuff, and you can set it where you are both recording the XLR or 1/4 inch into the bottom and the audio into the top. So if you have the money for something more than the DR10X, I would look into the H4n Zoom, or actually probably the Tascam DR40. That one has a little bit more features. Like, it does have the phantom track where this one doesn't have. It also has mic line and line, which that's probably another video I need to make, but that one is a little bit better than this one, so I would probably go that route. But again, these range anywhere from $150 to $300. If you have the budget, I would get a field recorder, something like this. The current field recorder that I use on a wedding day is the Zoom F6. Now, what's incredible about this thing is it actually has 6 inputs where you can plug XLR cables into them. You can do line level and mic level. It also records in 32-bit float, which I like the feature that it has 32-bit float, which means it just has a lot of data whenever you're recording in it. And if you're recording too soft or you're recording too loud, you can actually pull the volume down or turn it up and you can hear it okay. But if you don't know what you're doing whenever it comes to recording, that 32-bit float doesn't really matter all that much, because if you're recording a bad audio source or bad audio to begin with, having 32-bit float doesn't really matter all that much. Also, it's like a $600 recorder, so I know that that's not in everyone's budget. So that's definitely somewhere where maybe you were interested in going, but I would not recommend something like the Zoom F6 to begin with. Another thing that I have seen a lot of people really say that they like is just a little like pocket recorder like this. This one's an old Olympus one that I've had for a really, really long time that I do not use anymore. But I know that there is a little Sony kind of pocket one that people really, really like, and they actually put that in a little mic sleeve, and then on the toast mic they will put it in there, and it is a great backup. So something like this, kind of cheap. This is, I don't know, you can probably get one of these for less than $100 for sure. Just a little recorder that you can have on the wedding day as a backup. I would not use something like this even on a mic stand or having it really close. I would not use something like this as my primary source of audio, but in a pinch, it can really help you, especially if something is just going wrong with, the DJ board or something like that. So again, I don't recommend this as a prime source, kind of like the Rode VideoMic Pro, just having a shotgun mic on top. I will use it for an emergency or something if I need it, but this could really come in handy for you on a wedding day. Is this information helpful to you? If it is, give us a big thumbs up and let us know. The next thing I want to cover is the audio cables that you need to have with you on a wedding day. If you have a field recorder like the H4n Zoom or the Tascam DR40 or even the DR10X, you're going to need the proper cables to plug into the church soundboard system, the DJ booth, or even to the back of a speaker, which you can plug into from time to time. And you want to have all of these cables. I would say that these are a need, these are a necessity, because whenever you show up to a wedding day, you shouldn't have to rely on the DJ or someone else to provide these things, because you need them, okay? So here are the cables that you should 100% have in your bag, and they are very, very inexpensive. The first one that you're going to want is just a standard XLR cable. This one's actually pretty short. It's like, what, 3 feet? Something like that. Like, it's not very long at all. I actually have one that's this short one, and I also have one that's like 8 feet long or something like that, just in case, I have to plug into the back of the speaker and it's up really high or something. I like to have, I don't want my recorder dangling from something. So I have one that is short, if everything's right there by each other, and one that is long. You absolutely 100% need an XLR cable. The next thing you definitely want to have is an XLR to 1/4 inch adapter. Now, my field recorder, the Zoom F6, only has XLR inputs into it. So if I go up to a DJ and they said, yeah, we can do 1/4 inch, I have to actually put this on one end and then I can plug the XLR into the other. And also it just cuts down on the number of cables that I have to have. So I will take this adapter and I will just plug it in to the end here of my XLR cable, and now I have XLR on one end and 1/4 inch on the other. This is something that you need in your bag. It is an XLR to 1/4 inch adapter. Okay, another thing that you are going to want to pick up is an RCA to XLR adapter here, just like this. The red and white things that you would plug into for audio equipment. Sometimes DJs, that is the only output that they have. So I probably use this cable one time out of the year. I rarely use it, but you can plug, the RCA into one end and then the XLR into the other. This is another just cable adapter that you need in your bag, just to be prepared with whatever the situation is. The last piece of audio equipment that you must have in your bag is called an attenuator. And what this does is it actually allows me to take the signal that is coming out of the speaker and turn it down 20, 30, or 40 dBs. Whenever you plug into the back of a speaker, it is going to be really loud going into your recorder. And like on my H4n Zoom, I can actually turn the volume down to 0.01 volume, 0.01. And if I don't have this thing, oftentimes when I plug into a back of the speaker, that is way too loud. So I have this little thing, and it cuts down the amount of audio that's going through your cable. So if you are using a line, which is going to be the back of a speaker, you want to have something like this in your bag so that you can cut the volume down so that it will not peak and will not blow out your audio recorder. So let me get really practical and tell you the things that I would first buy on a wedding day. Let's put the budget at $500, which I know for some is a lot, but whenever it comes to audio equipment, that's actually a very reasonable budget. I would buy a Tascam DR10L. That would be the first thing I would buy. The next thing I would buy would be a Tascam DR10X. And then I would buy all of the cables, the XLR, the 1/4 inch to XLR adapter, the RCA to XLR, and then the attenuator. I would have all of that stuff with me and take it to a wedding day. That would be the bare essentials that I would go to a wedding with. It is really easy to get overwhelmed and think, oh, I need this recorder and I need that and I need all of these things and I need all of this stuff. If you just want to get going, that is where I would start. And as you film more, you can always purchase stuff. I'm sitting here saying I have 5 DR10Ls and I have the DR10X and I have the H4n Zoom and I have the Zoom F6 and I have all these cables and I have all this stuff. Well, I've been doing this for 9 years. Okay, I have invested in stuff and it still works, and I'm continuing to use it over and over and over again. Again, if we're just starting out, I would buy the bare essentials and then upgrade as I go along. Do you have any audio gear questions? If you do, drop them in the comments below. Also, we have a course for wedding filmmakers called the Complete Wedding Videography course. If you click over here to the side, there is a link that will take you directly to our waitlist page so that you can be notified as soon as that course goes on sale. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we will see you.